Hey guys, Ethan here and welcome back to yet another episode of the FIFA 19 Market Update series, in which I keep you guys up to date with all the trends to look out for on the market. With the CARNIBALL promo, which was released on Friday, prices have dropped down by a further 10 or 15%, and that's exactly what we've seen with every promo EA have released so far this year. They always bring the prices down a little bit more, and they've been hitting us with a lot of them recently. Ever since Team of the Year, we've had headliners, we've had future stars, we've got these cards now, we've had the Prime Icon Moments cards too. There's so much content, and that is causing prices to just keep on falling, and pretty much every type of card in the game has dropped down a lot. Some haven't been influenced as much, and I'll be talking about those in a moment, but I want to do more than just show you guys all the different types of players and how their prices have changed like normal. I also want to talk a little bit more about the market and what I think is going to be happening in the future. I'll do that towards the end of the video, but we're going to start off with the Meta Gold cards, and some of these price drops have been crazy. Ronaldo was 1.5 million, which is very cheap for him last week, and now he's going for like 1.3. He's just over 1.3 million, which is insanely cheap. That's by far and away the biggest drop in price he's had this year, and it's surprising that cards have dropped down that much during this promo, given there's only 14 cards in packs, and only, I'd say, about half of them are really good usable players. Like, we've got a lot of people like Bonucci, Alderweireld, Lloris that aren't particularly good in Ultimate Team. There's only a couple of really big players, Neymar being the standout one, but nevertheless, cards have dropped down so much. So Ronaldo's super low, Messi's very low, he's down at like, I think the lower ends of 500k is like 530 or so, which is extremely cheap. For all these gold cards, it's basically the cheapest they've been this year. Neymar's a little less low because he's got a special card in packs right now, so he's not getting packed as much. So he's still very low, but not as low as he could potentially be. Neymar's super low, he's down at pretty much the lowest you'll see him this year, like 70k, which is just mental how cheap he is. Aubameyang's massively cheap too. This is the 88, the upgraded version, and it's like 65k, which is actually crazy. Like, that is so cheap for a card of that quality. Alexandro is like 25k as well, which is also just insanely cheap. Like, these cards are way undervalued, but I still think they can drop even more because we've got Foot Birthday coming up soon. I think following Foot Birthday is when we'll start to see less of a drop in prices on the market, and they may actually recover, because right now we just are getting hit by back-to-back promos all the time. There's new content coming out, but I think following Foot Birthday, which is going to be a massive promo and will cause these prices to just get even lower, after that we only really have Easter and like St. Patrick's Day, which are fairly small, and then Team of the Season in a month or two after that. So I think prices could recover a bit, but right now I think they're still going to keep on dropping down. Now, looking at icons, insanely cheap prices again. Like, this is a Prime Icon Moments George Best, and he's going for under 3 million, and he's super rare, and it's the same with a lot of those cards. They're not actually that expensive. They're kind of around similar prices to what their regular primes were before this new set of icons were released. Yes, you've still got people like Eusebio, Hullet, like R9 Ronaldo, Pele, those players that are like near the top of their price ranges, but for the non-super elite cards, they're actually fairly cheap. Johan Cruyff is insanely cheap too. He's down at like just above 2 million, and he was at nearly 4 million during Team of the Year. And he's been around 3 million for a lot of the time after that, but now he's just so cheap. Like, his baby icon used to be worth more than what the 94 now is, so very cheap there. Stoichkov's also massively cheap, and this is just to represent like those mid-tier icons that are very usable, so people like Nedved and Stoichkov down at like 600k, which is so cheap. And then for the baby icons, it's mental. I was looking, Ruud Hullet is like 800k for his baby icon. I think Vieira's under 1 million, which is massively cheap for him. Like, that's insanely cheap. They're normally like twice that price. Ferdinand is like under 500k, which is so cheap. And then for the ones that aren't really used much, look at this. They're down at like 370k, which is insane. Icons have never been this cheap. Same with gold cards here. It's the cheapest point that we've seen this year for these types of cards, but I still think they can drop even further, so hold off on buying them if you're specifically looking to pick up certain players, because I think during Foot Birthday they'll be even cheaper. Looking at special cards, Champions League cards haven't really dropped that much. They've kind of retained their value, or dropped by like 10k or so in this case here with Courtois, so by maybe like 4 or 5%, it's because they're super rare. We had SBCs giving these out as untradables, but no tradable versions, so their price is going to remain the same. Team of the Group stage cards have dropped a lot because they have very minimal stat increases, and now a lot of these cards have better alternatives, so these cards are becoming a little bit valueless. The Ultimate Scream cards are dropping down a lot, although there will soon be a boost for them. And in some cases that will cause their prices to drop if they get a worse set of stats, if they get a better set of stats. Mainly pace, that's the most important one that people look out for, that generates the most hype. You'll see them go up in some cases right there. We've got Kimpembe just as an example for these road to the final cards. His team, of course, PSG, did get knocked out by Man United, so you'll have seen all the players that have been knocked out drop down in price. All the cards that went through will have gone up in price. The ones that haven't played yet are going to be fluctuating depending on how their games go. So you'll see, for example, if Bayern Munich beat Liverpool, you'll see Renato Sanchez rise up a lot in price. If they lose, you'll see him drop in price, and then you'd see someone like Fabinho or Van Dijk rise in price. So they're still some pretty good investments. You can make a lot of coins with these, and they will rise in hype before the games, so you can actually make some coins there by investing with them. Ones to watches are also really cheap. There's been loads of SBCs for them recently, so they drop down really low, but they haven't really recovered either just because of this recent promo, so they're super cheap. Some of these cards will probably recover a little bit in price, and some of them will just keep on going down. I think you'll see players that are playing really well in real life maybe rise up a little bit. It's the same with the headliners, because these are pretty much the same types of cards, but with a little bit more of a boost. They vary depending on how they play. So Sane, for example, has dropped down recently because he's not been playing that much. Mahrez has been coming in, Bernardo Silva has, and then Sterling's really nailed down that position, so he's dropped down in price. So you see different fluctuations there with those types of players. Interestingly, future stars haven't actually changed that much in price. They may have gone down in some cases by like 5% or so, but not much fluctuation. I think that's because they're quite rare cards and they're really elite. They're some of the best cards in their positions. Team of the years are really low. Very low. Like Kante's now under 2 million, which is insanely cheap for him, and it's the same with pretty much all of them. They're all very cheap compared to what they normally do go for. I think it's the cheapest they've been this year, at least when they've been out of packs. The discard price informs are fairly cheap. They have been a lot cheaper though at other points. We've got SBCs requiring these types of cards. I think Player of the Month Aguero needs like 15 informs. We've got lots of different SBCs coming out. One for Mendy yesterday, one for Hulk the day before. There'll be another one every day during Carnival. So these types of informs are actually in demand, and a lot of them are being used, so they've gone up in price. So check your clubs. If you've got discard price informs, they may be going for more than you got them for. Elite informs are dropping down in price because we have a lot of elite cards now. It's a very saturated market, so these types of cards now, like Mbappe, are really low. And then man of the match cards are also really low. Like Promise is down at nearly like under 100k. He's around 100k at the moment, and he was like 180k not too long ago. And it's the same with all of the man of the matches. Like look, there's ones down right at 100k, so they're super cheap. We've got some hero cards that came out recently. Generally with those cards you see them rise a little bit when they're out of packs, but then they drop down after a while. The hype for them dies off, so you can make some coins by investing in people like Rashford. I think Tadic has one too, but at the moment those types of cards there are super low. So they're players, like all the different types of players really, they've dropped down in price. That's what you generally see whenever a big promo comes out. But looking at the market, there are actually loads of packs we've had recently. So right now, I think we've got 50k packs. Yeah, 50k's. That's a bit of a coin drain. EA are introducing loads of packs. We had that with the last promo we had with lots of half price packs and things. They're trying to drain people of coins. Same with Player of the Month Aguero being really expensive. They're trying to remove coins from the market so people then go and buy FIFA points for FUT Birthday, which I think is going to be a massive promo. It will probably last 10 days because it's the 10th anniversary of Ultimate Team, and there's going to be so much content then. So I think a lot of these things, like the 81 double upgrades, these give you untradeable players. Any SPCs that give you untradeable players are there kind of as a coin drain to remove coins from the game. Yes, we have some daily SBCs which give out like small packs for a relatively cheap price, but that's the only kind of the only thing we've had that isn't a coin drain really during this promo. All these like untradeable SBCs, as much as they're good and you can get good cards from them, they're there to remove coins from the game. Same with like all of these ones there. Kazawa, Aguero is like 1.5 million coins, so that again that's a huge coin drain. It's to remove coins from the game. So expect FUT Birthday to be really big because they're going to want to sell a lot of packs and they want to sell FIFA points. They're getting rid of coins, you can tell that. We could also have Team of the Week SBCs at some point relatively soon. I'm not sure, it may even come out tonight by the time you're watching this video, because we've got a really good Team of the Week right now. with a lot of good players in, and then a lot of average players, and that's generally what you see when there's a Team of the Week SBC. They kind of have like 5 or 6 really elite players to kind of draw people in and make them want to do those SBCs. So we've got Lewandowski, Van Dijk, Lukaku, Fekir, like Donnarumma, all those types of players, and then loads of really average cards down here that are going to be the cards that people typically end up packing from these, but they'll keep doing them because there's all these big players they could potentially pack, but they're going to have really slim odds of getting them. And again, that's another coin drain, given that a lot of people do the untradable versions. It's removing coins from the game, or they're losing coins by doing the tradable versions unless they get really lucky. So again, it's removing coins from the game. So I think that's pointing towards the fact that we will probably have Team of the Week SBCs at some point soon. It's the type of Team of the Week that suits that. With some of the picks they went with, like maybe going with, for example, Van Dijk instead of maybe Alexander-Arnold, who'd be a bit of a lesser choice. They've gone with some really big players to make people want to do SBCs if they are released. And again, that will be removing coins from the game ready for Foot Birthday, which makes me think Foot Birthday is going to be a massive, massive promo, which it generally is, but this year it's probably going to be even bigger since it's the 10th anniversary, a decade since Ultimate Team was brought into FIFA, into the franchise. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, let me know down below. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care.